Hi, welcome to our Junior Doctor Hub. I'm Monica Rayos, financial planner, and today we're going to talk about debts and how to deal with them. In these times, personal debts such as car loans, personal loans, and credit card debt can accumulate very quickly. However, this generally translates to a much longer time to pay them off. Today, we go through some strategies for managing your debt and paying it down sooner rather than later. First tip, budgeting. Spending some time to put together a good budget can be key to ensure that you are on track to pay down your debts. It allows you to create a spending plan for your money, ensuring that you will have enough money for the things you need and the things that are important to you. Following a budget or spending plan may help to keep you out of debt or help you work your way out of debt if you are currently in debt. When putting together your budget, the key is to be honest and base it on your existing needs and spending habits rather than your ideals. Setting a budget that is not realistic will likely lead you to not achieving your goals, whether they are savings or debt reduction related. Tip number 2, prioritize your debts. Many people get too focused on paying down their mortgage, but do not consider their credit card or car loans that may have a higher interest rate. Even if your car loan is a smaller amount compared to your mortgage, these loans tend to have a higher interest rate and could really add up in the long run. The sooner you pay off these smaller debts, the lesser you pay interest. If you are tackling debts with higher interest rates, please be aware that many car loans have the interest amount set for the entire loan term. Paying it down early may not save you any money. In this instance, it is better to concentrate on reducing other debt. Tip number 3, chunking strategy. If you have $1 million mortgage, for example, it may seem like such a large amount and you may feel like you may not make headway on repaying it. However, one strategy is breaking down your big debt into smaller goals or smaller chunks. You can split off your home loan into $50,000 and $50,000 and set a goal of paying off the $50,000 in 2 years' time. Now, this may seem more manageable than paying down $1 million worth of debt in 30 years. Tip number 4, refinance. There are a few options available that may help you reduce your interest rates across your debts. These are transferring your credit card debt balance onto a credit card that offers a nil interest rate for a few years. However, please be aware that the interest rate are usually higher if you do not pay this off in the applicable time frame. Another one is refinancing your home to release some equity to pay out any smaller personal debts with the higher interest rates. Another one is you can talk to your bank and negotiate with a lower interest rate. If you do not ask, you will not receive. Tip number 5, stop adding more debt. A great start to reducing debt is to stop incurring more debt. Limiting or perhaps forfeiting your access to credit is a great way to contain the amount of debt that you have. Some strategies to contain your debts are: reduce your limit on your credit cards. Ideally, set this at a limit that whereupon the due date for payment, you can pay the total balance in full. Another tip is to cancel your credit cards altogether and only spend money that you actually have, rather than spending money in advance or money you do not have. In the past, we were forced to make certain purchases using our credit cards. However, these days, we can just use our debit cards to make the same purchases. By getting rid of available credit, this will force you to use your own hard-earned savings to make such purchases, and perhaps may make you rethink whether you really need that purchase or not. You may be using a credit card to collect frequent flyer points or the credit points to spend in the credit card shop. However, you'll generally find that the annual fee for the card itself, along with the amount you need to spend using the card to obtain the points required for various items, and the surcharge charged by the retailers for using a credit card for payment generally outweigh the benefits that you will receive. Tip number 6, increase your repayment rate. Increasing your monthly repayment will reduce the amount of time it takes to pay out the loan in comparison to paying the minimum amount required. Not only will it pay the debt off quicker, but you will also pay less interest along the way. Another way to achieve a great benefit is to make the repayments more often, for example, weekly rather than monthly. But this is dependent on the finance type and the bank. We recommend that you do some homework to determine this or contact your mortgage broker. Another strategy, if you have the choice, is to pay the debt with the highest interest rate first, before making additional payments on the other debts that you have with a lower interest rate. So the last tip is focus on one debt at a time. If you have multiple debts and you increase your repayments for all of them, you may feel that your progress is slow. Sometimes picking one debt and focusing on hammering that down in a shorter and more reasonable time can give you a sense of achievement and, more importantly, motivation to move on to the next step. Thank you so much for watching this video, and remember, we can help you assess your budget and cash flow situation and determine how much we can fast-track your debt reduction. If you wish to speak to one of our financial advisors, please contact us through the Junior Doctor Hub. Thanks, everyone.